Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and I just finished live streaming for the past 3 hours on the new update. It was very fun, and we got a first glimpse at what the new uniforms can do and what the revamped timeline survival is all about, including a surprise faction battle, some surprises in the Mythic pass for the future pass, sort of battle pass thing, and the new artifact system. So I want to start off with the characters here. There's quite a bit of mixed information, but I do think that overall all three of these uniforms are substantial upgrades for all three characters. Now, in Hyperion's case, he was the worst of the three by far, and he also has the tier 3 buff to look forward to. So I think that's why most people have heard a lot of good things about Hyperion if you've been talking to anyone that has played the game recently with this new patch. But yeah, we got 3 brand new skills for Captain America with brand new looks and some effects. We've got basically 5 or 6 new skills for Wolverine, including a brand new tier 3 skill, and then same thing with Hyperion. For Wolverine and Captain America, I do think things are going to be a little bit more in the details, and I do think it's going to take more time for us to figure out just how good these characters are. They obviously have upgrades, and they're obviously going to be better, but how much better and for which game modes is yet to be seen. So I'm not going to jump to conclusions and give you guys, any sort of, I think this character's bad, yada, yada, yada. Has Wolverine jumped as high as Hyperion has? Who knows? Has Captain America, outpaced Wolverine? Possibly, right? But I'm going to have to wait and see. I'm going to have to do more testing. I'm going to have to get Hyperion to tier 3 before we can compare the 3 of them equally. And then also in the same content. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with all 3 of their reworks. They look really good. They have really good animations, and that second skill actually looks, even though I'm not gonna get to pull it off, that blast is so dope. Yeah, so the skills look dope. They're very Phoenix Forcey, and they're all upgrades for all 3 of them. That being said, we've sort of gotten used to this point in the game, or we've gotten used to it at this point in the game, where characters that are getting uniforms may not be getting these uniforms that are going to just completely transform them from being zeros to being gods. And so, when they were sort of middling, especially with Wolverine and Captain America, they weren't like the worst characters in the game, but they also weren't the best characters in the game. The chances of them jumping up and going from there, like a 4 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10, is very unlikely. Even, we've seen recently with Luna Snow and stuff like that. They get substantial upgrades for sure, but it doesn't make them suddenly the best characters in the game. And for that, we may have the Eternals Epic Quest next update to look forward to. If you want to check out the data mines, go hit that up on Reddit. So yeah, I don't have too much to say about the uniforms right now. I haven't tested them extensively, but from the testing that I have done, all 3 of them are good upgrades. Wolverine, he may be like 40 to 50% better than he was with House of X. That may not be good enough for some players, but comparatively, with Captain America, you're probably still looking at a 20 to 30% upgrade at least. And then for Hyperion, obviously this is a massive game-changing upgrade for him. So then it really just boils down to whether you want to and have him to build up in the first place. So those are the new uniforms, but there's actually still quite a lot of content to cover. So we do have a faction battle. Just to give you guys a quick little run through on the faction battle, it does not matter which side you choose, just investigate which characters you use from each side before you choose a side. So if you go ahead and look here, I don't know where I can show you guys, but basically when you choose magic, you can only use magic type characters, and when you choose science, you can only choose science type characters. Before you choose a side, you can go ahead and investigate and see which characters are available. I can't even show you here, but basically, magic type obviously would be like Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Ghost Rider, those types of characters. Wiccan, Thor, Loki, and then science type characters would be, Mr. Fantastic, Iron Man, Dr. Octopus, Nimrod, Sentinel, things like that. So basically the only reason why you would want to choose one side over the other is if you don't have characters from one side or the other. But yeah, aside from that, the rewards are essentially the same. We have no idea which faction is going to win at the end of the day. The winning faction does get slightly better rewards, but that's all that really matters. You get some X gene selectors, so you get a 60 X gene selector for winning, and you get a 30 X gene selector for losing, and then you get a little bit more gold, but it's not too bad. The deluxe rewards are a bit overpriced, but you do get tier 3 and tier 2 material, or tier 3 materials, and you get some crystals back, and you do get a mega rank up ticket. So if you need the mega rank up ticket for 2,000 crystals, it's not bad, because you do get a 500 crystal refund. It's okay. It could be better, it could be worse. But yeah, the faction battle is just something to do in the background. You don't have to actively participate. Actually, you do. You have to do these 3 faction war battles per day. But yeah, just do those, get the 200 points, make sure you do the hardest one, and then collect your faction rewards. The other big piece of content change here is in timeline survival. And I'm going to make a dedicated video on this, but basically timeline survival is so much more fun now, in my opinion, because it is so much more difficult. Just to give you guys a sneak peek here of the difficulty, I'm going to go into, this is threat level 6, so this is the highest possible threat level, and as you can see, I've already conquered a bunch of orange squares, which is the second highest difficulty of squares, the highest being, of course, Mythic, red. So we're going to jump over here to this one, and it says characters, oh, that's purple. It says characters with, what was that? What were those requirements? Characters with Weapon Master, that's it. Characters with Weapon Master have an advantage. So the battle requirements are getting so specific that they actually require you in some cases to take advantage of these Weapon Master abilities. Now I'm going to show you here. We're going to use Wolverine and Mystique, who both have the Weapon Master, and then we're just going to throw in, let's throw in Rescue, okay? And we'll talk about Rescue later. I'll make a dedicated video on what I think the meta is for this game mode, but just watch. I have 22% Pierce, I have a CTP of Rage on Wolverine and on Mystique, and I have a CTP of Authority on Rescue. So we got CTPs on everybody, 2 offensive builds, 22% Pierce, 95 or 100% all attack. And look at how much, first of all, look at how much HP these characters have. 75 million HP each. And look at how long it's taken to take them down. Now, of course, I can step in and take the autoplay off and play manually and do my rotation and put in more damage, but as you can see, it's pretty difficult. Now, I can get around this by not bringing in Rescue. Well, if I had exactly 3 characters that are Weapon Masters, then I could get around this, because basically what happens is, just like the Phoenix Force stages in Shadowland, those specific stages where they want you to bring in a Phoenix Force character, or they want you to bring in a Spider Sense character, if you don't, you will activate this buff. And you can see this buff here decreases basic damage by 99%. That basically forces you to rely on your instinct damage completely if you cannot build a team that perfectly complements the requirements. So it can be very difficult. It obviously requires you to have a huge roster built up. It requires you to plan ahead before you even jump into the incursion. But the best part about the new timeline survival not only is the difficulty and the new synergies, the new strategies, but it's also the new rewards, right? The artifacts and the celestial essence. So this is what is really important here. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys, but I want to jump in and try to find, okay, this is a boss. Let me show you guys. I'll give you guys my like ultimate strategy. Okay, so this is a legendary boss, Surtur here. We're gonna use my go-to team. Okay, this is my go-to team here. You can actually just sub out Mephisto for Mystique. It doesn't matter too much. But in this case, there are no requirements. It just says use a formidable team. So we're actually kind of in luck. But basically, we just need to stall here. We don't even need to stall, to be honest. But yeah, once we pop off Doctor Strange's tier 3, it's basically over. I think I canceled his tier 3 early. Nice, Alex. Yeah, I canceled Doctor Strange's tier 3 early. So he's going to last... Oh, he time froze us. Nice. Not nice. All right, let's finish him off there. So that's my super secret strategy. Give you guys a little heads up there for all you Doctor Strange fans. But, okay, there we go. We just got survival tokens. We didn't crit any Celestial Essence. But yeah, the Celestial Essence is really cool. You get artifacts as well. And okay, no shops here. Okay, without any shops, we're just gonna back out of here. But yeah, the other big thing for timeline survival that makes it so good now is the artifacts and the essence and the Celestial Essence. So you can play timeline survival a lot more now because you get temporal energy a lot faster. But the other big thing is the artifacts that you get. So the artifacts, you can check them out in the store. You go over to Dimension Missions and you scroll over here. Again, I'll make a dedicated video on artifacts and how you sort of want to approach it. But my advice from the patch notes is still true. You basically want to dismantle all regular artifacts that you get. You're going to collect artifacts from the free chest. You're going to collect artifacts from the gold chest as well. And the nice thing about these gold chests here is you can buy them once a day. And you can buy them for each shield level. So I thought it was only the highest shield level, but I was wrong. So I'm going to buy these now so you guys can see. but it's a 1 to 4 artifact here. It's a 1 to 4 star artifact, so you can get lucky and you can roll one of the best artifacts right off the bat. So we're gonna see here what happens. We're gonna open these up and see. So you basically get at least 5. That's awesome. You get at least 5 free artifacts. Oh no. Oh, okay. So that was the. I thought you could only buy one of the 4. I panicked there. So you get minimum 5 free artifacts every single day, without even having to farm any content, story mode or timeline survival. So you definitely want to pick these up. It's showing the edges of the screen. It's kind of weird when it's opening the chest. It sort of bends in and shows you the edges of the screen. But there we go. So we got 4 artifacts there. So you get minimum 5 artifacts per day. The artifacts are down here between ISO and custom gear. And then what you want to do for the artifacts is basically just anything that doesn't have a character's face on it, you want to just dismantle it. And the reason for that is when it has the character's face, it has an exclusive ability for that character. Now, again, we talked about this in this patch notes video. We'll make a dedicated video, but basically what you need to know is these exclusive skills can be extremely powerful. In the case of Wolverine's exclusive artifact skill, it's basically an extra passive. That's how powerful it is. So for Wolverine, it's going to give him the null passive. When his HP is below 5%, it's going to activate this buff for 4 seconds. And the buff will not allow his HP to drop below 1, so he basically cannot die. He becomes temporarily immortal. And then he's going to recover 10% of his HP at the end of the buff timer, plus an additional 0.5% for the total instinct that he has. Now, this buff is the weaker variation of the buff because it's only 3 stars, so it's a 10% heal for 4 seconds. But if you go ahead and look at the 6-star version, and of course it's obviously harder to get the 6-star version, but if you go ahead and look at the 6-star version, you will see that, oh, it's over here, that the 6-star version actually gives you a 50% max HP heal, and it's a 7-second buff. Yeah, it's crazy good. Yeah. Now, this doesn't seem to work in PvP right now. I don't know if that's intentional or accidental, but it does work in PvE, which is really cool. You can basically give your Wolverine a revive. It's very dope. And right now there exists, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 current artifacts. So we will be getting more artifacts in the future for characters as they release. So right now, these are the only characters that have exclusive artifacts. But the artifacts effects range in, you know, in things from like damage to healing to defenses. There's all sorts of different effects, and there's really only one bad artifact right now that I strongly recommend the devs rework. Luna's. Her artifact sucks. Her artifact effect sucks. All of the other ones are good to amazing. Wolverine probably has the best one. I'm not going to complain about that, but yeah, just keep that in mind. So why am I telling you about the artifact effects if, you know, the chances of you pulling from the free chest are basically impossible, right? Because it's a 1 to 4 star. So you're probably thinking to yourself, I'm never going to pull that. So what I told you before, you want to dismantle these bad boys. And you can see here that the higher the star level, the more that you get. So you're going to want to not only keep an eye out for as many artifacts as you can get. You want to farm up as many of these as possible. But you also want to, when you're playing timeline survival, you want to buy, because you'll see them in the shop. I wasn't able to show you guys, but in the shops, you will be able to. Okay, I can't move around the map, but in the shops, sometimes you'll be able to buy artifacts. You want to buy those artifacts and then dismantle them because it's going to give you even more Celestial Essence, and of course, you want to prioritize the 2-star and the 3-star artifacts for gold. But you want to buy them because then with the Celestial Essence, there's literally nothing else to do with the Celestial Essence right now. You could use it to enhance an existing artifact, but don't enhance artifacts unless you have a 4-star one or higher. So what I can do instead is I can roll. And this is the only place to get 6-star artifacts. So you can get them completely for free. Obviously, it's a very low drop chance, but you have a completely free way by dismantling artifacts and then reroll and then pulling it here. The only other place to get them, oh wait, there's no other place to get them. That's right. Spending crystals is not even going to give you a chance to get a 6-star artifact. So this is huge. It basically stops, I mean, it stops or it makes it much more expensive and basically ridiculous for whales to just, you know, spam their way through this and equip a bunch of 6-star artifacts. So I've spent $0 on the artifact system, and well, I did do one crystal pull here, and I was really lucky and I got the Wolverine one. But otherwise, if you want to get the best ones, you're just going to have to play. You're going to have to grind, collect a bunch of artifacts, dismantle them. It's going to cost you some gold. And then you're going to end up with Celestial Essence to do one of these. So we're going to do this pull here and see what we get so I can show you guys. But this is 100% what you want to do. We're going to skip through this. Okay, so we didn't get anything good this time around. That's fine. But I basically got a partial refund on my pull, right? Because the pull cost 250. But now I can go ahead and dismantle this. Again, it costs gold, yes. But I can go ahead and dismantle this for a total of, what is this, 100? Almost 100. So I got like a third. I got more than a third of my cost of the pull refunded back to me. So I think I can actually go and do another one, another 10. And again, this just gives me more and more attempts at pulling a 6-star artifact. None there, but I did get a 3-star. So again, it refunds me again, and I think this is going to give me another 100. I don't think I can do another pull, but you sort of see how this works, and you're basically just rinsing and repeating this strategy until you get lucky. And then you pull a 6-star artifact, and then you're done. You have an artifact for character. It's a little bit more complicated than that. There's a little bit of RNG involved. There's some RNG involved beyond that, but it's a really cool system in my opinion. It's definitely way less power creep than CTPs, premium cards, Reforged, stuff like that. And it's not whale oriented. It's not, extremely pay to win. And it doesn't even seem to have an effect in PvP, which means that there's really no reason for whales to go crazy on it unless it's for personal gain or for the rankings. Because if you're wondering, yes, equipping an artifact does increase the character's rank by quite a lot. And you can probably already catch some players who have an artifact equipped and their ranking is like way higher than anyone else's. Like it'll just be like absurdly high comparatively. I can't find any here. Not too many people want to equip artifacts just yet. But anyways, yeah, it affects your growth score quite a bit. So that's that for the Timeline Survival and the new artifacts. I strongly recommend you play Timeline Survival. It's a lot more fun now. It's a lot more difficult, especially once you get past Sector 3 into Sector 4, which, by the way, is symbiotes. It's really cool. I'm not going to spoil Sector 5, and I sort of already spoiled Sector 6, but yeah. So that's that. I strongly recommend you jumping into that and checking it out. Last but not least here, it's a mini update, but there's quite a bit here. They actually changed, I didn't notice this in the patch notes, they changed the final reward for the Mythic pass. Now, it is pretty expensive. You have to go ahead and buy the legendary one and then buy the Mythic, but you do get all of those rewards. You do get the very cool Venom icon. But what's more important is the final reward. Instead of a Mega Tier 2 ticket, which in my opinion was not a good reward for players that are going to spend $60 plus on those 2 passes, you probably have a lot of Mega Tier 2 tickets saved up. You can get a free Mega Tier 2 ticket every month from the token exchange. So it's not really that good. So they changed it to a Mega Mythic uniform upgrade ticket. Now that's important because normally I would have to shell out, it's like $45 or $50 US. In this case, it's 55 Canadian just for that and 3,000 crystals. Now you can go ahead and do the math for yourself. It's a little bit more expensive. You don't get as many crystals, but you do get some crystals. And then you get some tier 2, tier 3 materials. You get the icons, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if it's a one-to-one value, but the icon is really cool, and it's a much better end reward now than it was before. So I just wanted to point this out because I missed it, and this will probably be the tipping point that convinces me to buy both of these this month. I really wanted the Venom, but I couldn't really justify it, the Venom icon, but I couldn't really justify it with the rest of this future pass. But I think now I kind of can, especially with the data mines indicating that we may be seeing quite a bit of uniforms for the Eternals and sort of upgrades for them, tier 3 skills or sixth skills, whichever that may be, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I've actually had a lot of fun, a surprising amount of fun in an update that's surprisingly small, and I haven't even really scratched the surface yet with these 3 characters to see exactly what they can do. So I'll hit you guys up with more content on that. We'll be tier 3ing Hyperion next, and then seeing what Wolverine and Captain America can do. So keep it locked on the channel. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.